On a night in the New York subway, I completely changed my worldview. It was late, and I was heading home after a long day of work. The subway was almost empty, with only a few scattered passengers in the cars. I found an empty seat near the door and settled in, trying to relax after a stressful day. The subway plunged into the darkness of the tunnel, and that's when I heard a whisper beside me, but there was no one there. I ignored it, assuming it was my tired mind playing tricks on me. However, the whisper persisted, becoming increasingly sharp and insidious. I began to feel a shiver run down my spine as the sensation that something terrible was about to happen intensified. I tried to distract myself with my phone, but the light started flickering irregularly, briefly illuminating pale, distorted figures in the empty seats around me. The people who were on the subway had disappeared, and my heart began to beat faster as I realized that these figures were not just figments of my imagination. They were shadows, contorting and twisting in a way that defied any logical explanation. Panic seized me as blood began to ooze from the windows of the car. It felt as though the subway wanted to show me its victims and show me what my future would be like if I didn't escape that place. I tried to get up and run to the safety of the next car, but my legs felt as heavy as lead. I knew that something horrible was about to happen, but I couldn't move at all. As the subway plunged deeper into the shadowy recesses of the tunnels, a nightmare atmosphere materialized. Suddenly, the train seemed to stop at an unknown station, where aberrant creatures, born from the deepest fears of the human mind, emerged in the cars. Their moans echoed off the subway walls, a macabre symphony of despair that froze the blood of any brave soul brave enough to witness it. The subway shook violently. The train shook violently, and the lights flickered one last time before going out completely. In the absolute darkness, the whispers turned into anguished screams, echoing through the tunnel like a chorus of condemned souls. Through the window of the car, I began to see buildings on fire, people being tortured, and hungry monsters chasing after humans. It was as if the subway had entered hell itself. After seeing those terrifying images, the train entered a dark and aimless tunnel again until it stopped abruptly. The lights came on, and I found myself alone, surrounded only by the deafening silence of the empty subway. When I was close to accepting my cruel fate, the lights came on and the door of the car opened at the station. Everything seemed normal. People began to enter the subway car, as if nothing had happened, going about their normal lives and routines. Disoriented and trembling, I got up from my seat, looking around to confirm if I was really safe. My heart still hammered in my chest as I hurriedly stepped off the train, desperate to escape the nightmare that had unfolded before my eyes. The fresh air of the platform welcomed me, and a sense of relief began to creep in amidst the shock and fear that still echoed within me. As I walked through the bustling corridor of the subway station, the disturbing images of that infernal journey continued to haunt my mind. I wondered if it had been just a hallucination, a momentary bout of insanity, or if something truly supernatural had occurred in those dark tunnels beneath the city that never sleeps. Days passed, and I found myself increasingly tormented by vivid nightmares and a persistent feeling that something sinister was lurking in the shadows. Even during the day, I couldn't completely escape the sensation that I was being watched, followed by an invisible presence that refused to leave me alone.